Oh. Action. Just use it. Nerd alert over here. What is stop? No, get out of here. So what's up? This is Ronnie and Mel, and we are officially on our way home from Kansas City. And we're in Colorado Springs. We're stopping in Vegas, and then Cali the next day. So we're super pumped.
And so the last 3 months we have been in Kansas City at the International House of Prayer. For those that don't know, the International House of Prayer is a missions base that is centered around a prayer room that has live prayer and worship 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so, Ronnie, you were in an internship for 3 months at the International House of Prayer. So what did your days look like while you were there?
Pretty busy, to be honest with you. Basically, our day started at 9 a.m. and we went from 9 to 10 in worship, 10 to 12 was class. We had a 2-hour lunch break from 12 to 2, and then from 2 to 4 we were in the prayer room every day. Or no, 2 to 6. So 4 hours a day, 2 to 6 in the prayer room. And that was pretty steady every day of the week, but Thursdays we have like a small group where we meet in the morning, friendship group. And then Fridays we have EGS service, Friday night. And then on Sundays, we had Sunday morning service, and I got to serve in the children ministry with the little 4-year-olds, so that was cool.
That's fun.
Had to hang with the kiddos. Yeah, so it was busy, to be honest with you. It was really, really busy. You only get 1 day off a week, Saturdays off. So you're engaged pretty much from 9 a.m. till 6 every day, basically.
So, I mean, you gave yourself that many hours every day to the Lord. And so now that you're done with it, looking back, what do you feel like the Lord did in that time?
I think just looking back, I would say one of the biggest things right off the bat was just slowing me down. Like, just my lifestyle in general for the last 20 years has been go, 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 go. So actually just to even take a season to lay everything down and just sit before the Lord was key anyway. But in that, even just slowing me down, not just as the pace of my life, but slowing me down in the Word. Because even at home, like, I'm always disciplined. I read the scriptures every day, but I'm still always like want to get through the book that I'm in to finish the next book. I'm really like always shooting for like distance. I don't know why. But while I was in the internship, one of the things that they were teaching us was they called it raking and digging. And basically raking would be like reading for distance, getting the landscape picture, and then digging will be going deep. And I really was challenged, like, man, I want to go deep. I'm here, like, let's stop just breezing through these books and slow down and actually just sit in a chapter one day, even sit on some verses. I got caught on words, or I got stuck on one word for a little while. And I actually hung out in John 17 for a little while. And another thing that I picked up when I was there was journaling. Like, I know you are Miss journals everything every single day. She's probably got stacks of them. But that's not really, never really was me. I basically, if I had a dream, I would write it down. If someone prophesied over me, I'd write it down. But at home, I'd read through the Word, and if I came to something I didn't understand or had some thoughts, I would ask some questions, think about it, get some ideas, get some thoughts. The Holy Spirit speak to me about something, and then I was on, and then I would keep reading. But while I was there in the internship and I had my time in the prayer room, I would actually take my journal, and when I came to something that I had a question about, I'd actually write my question down, and then sit for a little while and ask the Lord, like, Lord, what does this mean? Like, why'd you do it this way? And I would just start. I had a lot of why questions. And as I got revelation or just thoughts, I would actually write those down. And what I've learned over time is that my questions were actually doorways to revelation. And not only was I getting a ton of download, I actually could go back and look at it. Because in the past, I would have some cool thoughts, but you really forget about them. You know what I mean? Because you go on your day, and, you know, an hour or two later, you're like, it's just, you know, it's gone. But to actually be able to 3 days later look back, if you're still in that same chapter, and go, what was the Lord saying 3 days ago? And you have all those things written down. And I actually think that was one of the most helpful things is instead of being, I mean, we still need to read for distance. You want to do both. You want to go distance, but you want to go depth. And I think the Lord really transitioned my heart to really be one that desires both and appreciate it, and to enjoy the conversation of journaling and writing down questions and hearing him respond and writing down the responses I get. And so I would say that was probably two of the biggest things that I could look back and go, in day to day, you don't feel nothing.
Yeah.
Like you're in there day to day, like praying, and for some reason I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get up and pray in the Spirit for 40 minutes, for an hour. You know, the Lord's gonna give me a vision, something's gonna happen. I don't know, maybe the angels will show up or something. But nothing ever happens. You're just in there, and it's just like you're trying to press in, but it's not like it's like, you know, some awesome experience every single moment. But there is times when, you know, you're getting downloads and this is exciting. You're like, wow, you know, I'm getting a bunch of stuff. But and another thing that I would say, you know, going deep. So I went from depth. First of all, I slowed down just in my pace of life and in my pace through the Word, and became not just a distance reader, but one who reads for depth, a journaler, and one who appreciated corporate prayer. Obviously, we have our prayer times together at home, but a lot of times, and the prayer room's always on at our house, and we got our own little prayer room. But a lot of times, like, it'll be on, and when the intercession starts, I would a lot of times either turn it down, or sometimes I would just change it, because I was like into my own just personal devotion time with the Lord. But while I was there, the Lord really highlighted what was happening in the room, and it's really a picture of Revelation 4. Just the way the prayer leader will pray a prayer, and then the worship team will begin to sing that prayer, phrases back to one another, and then eventually they'll get a chorus, and they'll begin to sing the chorus, and once they're singing it, then the room joins in. And that's actually a picture of Revelation 4 and 5, what's happening in the throne room. And when I got that, it gave me such, like, whoa, this is really, really cool, like what we're doing. And I wanted to engage, and I actually pressed in when we were during the intercession sets to press in to whatever they were engaging in the room, even if it was something that I might not have a heart for at the moment. I was like, I might not care about this right now, but the Lord does, and I'm going to stick with it. So leaving that, I'm leaving with, I appreciate corporate prayer, and I desire it, and just, it makes so much more sense when you engage with a group of people who get it. It changes, and it's so much different than trying to do things on your own and just try to be the lone soldier. It just, you need a group of people. And so they would probably be the three things that the Lord highlighted the most, just looking back. But anyways, that was kind of my experience. You obviously were on staff at IHOP. You were single back then. You were back now in the community as a married woman, but you weren't in the internship. You've already did it, you know, prior to going on staff. So what was it like for you to kind of be back in the community and be in the prayer room, and what was the Lord showing you?
Well, I mean, before going back to IHOP after we got married, and, you know, I moved back to Southern California, a place that I kind of never thought that I would move back to, just because I was so caught up in the entertainment world and just the world when I lived there again, and then the Lord took me out. So going back there once we got married, it was just such a hard transition for me, just being taken away from my church, my community, my career, my friends, family, all of that, and just the transition of being married in general is a big transition, especially for someone who didn't even
experience. It's been your greatest experience.
It has, Lovey, it has. But
best decision you ever made, right?
Yes,
Tell the world.
for sure.
Tell the world.
But
tell them how you really feel.
I just don't think I understood how hard all of that transition would be for me. Especially, I don't really like a ton of change. I'm a really routine person. And so being taken away from a community that loves Jesus and is pursuing him 24 hours a day, every single day together, to then going out in this place where the only person I even knew that loved Jesus was my husband. And so just trying to figure that out, I was just going through so much stuff, so much just chaos, and I just couldn't even feel like I could get my feet back under me. But going back to Kansas City, I mean, the Lord just so touched my heart. And you know, I think we have seasons in our life that are like it talks about in Psalm 23, where you may feel like you are walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and it may feel like you're dying, either spiritually, emotionally, physically, and I kind of thought, man, Lord, I don't think I'm ever going to get back to that place where I was in you, where I loved you and I was just on fire, and I thought I was just too far backslidden in that sense to get back there. But you know, the Lord is just so faithful, and when we keep pressing through those hard seasons and believing He's good, believing He's going to show up, He will. When it's the perfect timing, He came and He met me, and He reminded me who I was, and He got me back to that place. He really got me back to that place where my heart just loved Him. And another big thing I think He taught me was just being able to rest in His love, because so often I feel like I have to strive to earn the Lord's love, and He's like, no, like, just rest in the love that I have for you. You know, I paid it all on the cross. Like, I can't love you any more than I already do. So just receive that love, and in turn, I was able to love Him back. And so those were two of the things that just the Lord did in my heart. But I think just another thing that I loved was, I mean, we're not meant to do the Christian life without community. You know, the Lord talks about us as a body, and the body is connected to each other. And so it just reaffirms the importance of being in a community that's going for the things of God, and how much, you know, seeing others pressing in encourages your own heart, and how, you know, if you are down, people can come and it can lift you up in that place, so you can keep pressing in. And so it was just amazing to be back in that community.
Well, one of the things I noticed, obviously because I seen your last season, how hard the transition was for you, just getting married and leaving all that and coming out to California. But when I seen you back there and you were actually teaching at Immerse, which that's kind of where you were before we left. You were working with Immerse. And I just seen even you just coming alive, and just even a different just even glow, and just awakening in your spirit a little bit. And I was like, man, look at my wife is just pumped right now. I'm like, so tell us about that, because it was so noticeable that I was like, okay, that's the woman I married.
Well, I mean, the Lord, He gives us gifts. He puts different gifts in each one of us so that we can reflect Him, and so that we can, you know, bring the world to Him. And you know, just one of those things that I love getting to do is just teaching people about Jesus, and teaching them about prayer so that they can love Him, and just teaching them about how much He loves them. And it makes me come alive when I get to do what I was created to, because we were created with a purpose, and we get the most joy when we're serving the Lord in the way that He created us to do. And so, yeah, I mean, Immerse, it's an 8-day program where people can come to IHOP and just experience life in the prayer room. And so just getting to minister to these hungry people and give them tools for their own walk with the Lord. And even we even got to share with some of the young college-aged kids that are coming to Kansas City to be equipped to go on their own college campuses and start prayer meetings and things like that. I mean, it just causes my heart to come alive when I get to do what I was created to do. So I was so excited to have that opportunity. But I mean, I even got to love seeing you do the same thing, because you have such a heart for the youth of this nation, and then just to get to see you share at the Fascinate conference, you know. And so tell us about that, because I just loved getting to see you have that opportunity.
Well, I do have a heart for the youth. I mean, I feel like it's part of my assignment is not only to go into the public high schools with the Kill the Noise and call unbelievers into the family of God, but even to speak to the church as well, and call a generation into wholeheartedness, and just to be passionate, and just to be all in, and just going for Jesus. So yeah, I got to share my testimony at Fascinate, and the Awakening Conference, and I just got to just minister and just love on a bunch of teenagers. So I love that, because I do love the kids. I love, because I just remember just being them.
Yeah.
And I just know the direction I went, and I just know that where I'm at now, and I'm like, Lord, let me lead them to you. Like, let me keep them from going down the road I went down.
Yeah.
So I just have a heart for them, and so I'm really excited about even kill the noise story once we get home. Go back after the high school kids.
Yeah, because I think one thing that's so powerful about, well, both of our stories, but mostly yours, is, you know, you get to see all these kids come up to you after you share your testimony, and they're like, man, you know, I wanted that American dream. I wanted to go after the things of the world, but now that I've heard your story, and that the things of the world actually don't satisfy, but only Jesus does, and that if I give myself wholeheartedly to him, then that's what it's all about. And just to see kids come alive and actually make that transition in their heart, and get to see you pray for them, I love getting to see that. And so, yeah, so you mentioned when we go home, you'll get to do kill the noise stuff. So, I mean, so we are going home.
Yeah.
And so
2 days.
I know. And so now that you've been in this season for 3 months, and, you know, your life just looked so different, what things are you going to take from this place back into your life back at home?
I mean, I'm hopefully taking everything, because I had such an awesome experience. Definitely one of the things is my time, like giving more time, because I don't want to just get caught back up in busy life again. Like, I'm not going to say you can't, but I'm going to say it's very, very difficult to go deep in the Lord on the run. Like, it is. Like, you can get through some chapters and you can talk to him for a little bit, but if you want to go deep, you really have to sit and sit before him and just talk to him, and just, it takes time. It really does take time. So I just want to make sure, just going back to California, that I don't just get swept back into the same rhythm I was in before, but that I'm actually going to take some of the stuff, the muscles that I was exercising there, and the even the greater discipline that I learned there, and bring that back to Southern California, and just make sure that I'm just sitting before him as much as I can. And I mean, I am excited to get back to riding, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely missed riding my dirt bike. So to getting back to riding, just getting back into the gym, the Kill the Noise Story. And if people don't know what the Kill the Noise Story is, it is we go into public high schools and share our testimonies and share the gospel. And we see tons, and like, I will tell you, like 95% of the kids in the room make a decision to follow the Lord. And it is, people get delivered of just addictions and pornography and just crazy stuff. And so that's really exciting. And then our website, like, we started our website before we went to Kansas, but obviously the look of it's built, but the content's not there. So we definitely got to go home and focus in on getting that website done. So our main focus is our relationship with the Lord above all things. Then I would throw in our website, because we want to try to knock it out in 3 months if we can. And then just launching that, and then, like I said, just getting back to our friends and our family in California and riding and doing life.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's exciting. And just for those of you that don't know, so our ministry website, it's going to be launching soon. We're going to be putting out teaching videos that are going to disciple this next generation. And so teaching them about who Jesus is, why do we need him, you know, why do we need to pray, what does a prayer life look like, how do you read the Bible. And so we're going to be launching that hopefully here in the next few months. And I mean, just seeing where the Lord takes it, because we know it's just really something on his heart, and that he's really asking us to do for this next generation. And so be looking for that. It's going to be ronnieandmel.com. It's going to be coming soon. And so we just want to thank you guys for being a part of our life, a part of our journey. And we love you, and just stay apart. Stay on this adventure with us. And so we love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Peace out. Good? Stop.